Stephen A. Smith went on his record show, the number one show, sports talk show on television in the mornings, First Take, and said not only should Deion get all these accolades, but that the Dallas Cowboys should tank the rest of their season for Coach Prime and Shedeur and make it a package deal. Let's talk about that and play the video after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYjr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because I upload all the time. Now, Stephen A. Smith, we know he is friends with Deion Sanders. We know he knows Coach Prime very, very well. And we know he is a notorious hater of the Dallas Cowboys, but he actually tried throwing the Cowboys a bone and their owner, Jerry Jones. In this clip, let's just go ahead and play it and see what Mr. A, as in Stephen A, has to say about Deion Sanders and the Dallas Cowboys. Let's take a listen.
This team lost 6 straight last year, 7 of their last 8 games, finished the season 4-8, and were projected coming into this season to finish 11th in their conference, okay? To me, primetime Deion Sanders is the coach of the year. I'm thinking about...
Okay, let's stop right there because we'll stop periodically. He's not the coach of the year. The coach of the year is Cignetti over in Indiana. Kirk Cignetti at Indiana is the coach of the year. Yeah, the Colorado's picked 11th. Indiana may have been picked dead last in the Big Ten. Coach Cignetti at 10-0 Indiana, he's the coach of the year. And then second will probably be the guy at BYU who's actually leading the Big 12 and was projected lower than Colorado. So those two over Prime. But Prime's doing a great job, but he's not the coach of the year.
Travis Hunter as a leading candidate for the Heisman.
That's
I'm
true.
Take it a step further. Are you ready for this, Paul? I'm going to make you
let's listen to this.
Primetime has shown we know the brother can recruit. We know what he is. You talk about the greatest cornerback in the history of the National Football League, okay? This brother, primetime Deion Sanders, and the job that he's doing. Are you ready for where I'm going today? Are you ready for where I'm going, Shannon? Ready for where I'm going, Paul?
Before he says that, all of that is true. Travis, the Heisman, Prime, not the coach of the year, but is having a great year. Let's keep listening.
Paul,
where you gonna put him at? Where you putting him at?
I believe that the Dallas Cowboys should tank the rest of the season.
Wow.
Get the number 1 overall pick so you can draft Shedeur Sanders. And by the way, hire primetime Deion Sanders as your head coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
I think that should be Jerry Jones's master plan. That's right. I said it. Hire primetime Deion Sanders. You got to tank the season to make sure you can get his son as your quarterback, okay? And you move.
That is a hell of a strategy, Stephen A. Especially when you have a $240 million quarterback on your roster right now, Stephen A. It's a hell of a strategy, but let's keep listening.
Move forward that way. That is what I believe the Dallas Cowboys should do, because as much as I appreciate the job and appreciate the University of Colorado and the citizens of Boulder, Colorado, giving primetime Deion Sanders this opportunity, the bottom line is when you think about primetime, we shouldn't be thinking about Boulder, Colorado. We should be thinking about someplace else. And I think Big D, Dallas.
But then you're...
Whew. So there's a lot there. There's a lot there said by Mr. A, Stephen A. Smith, going on, saying that the Dallas Cowboys should tank the rest of the season for Shedeur and Prime and make it a combo deal. So there's a couple of things wrong with that. I know the first thing you guys are going to say in my comments is that Deion said he never wants to coach in the NFL. Deion said he never wants to coach in the NFL. Deion says he never wants to coach in the NFL. And I do believe Deion when he says that. But Deion says a lot of things at times that ends up not being true. And that's not calling him a liar. That's just the way humans work. If he had an opportunity to coach Shedeur in the NFL, I think he'd take it. I think he'd actually take it. Let me repeat. If he had an opportunity to be the head coach of an NFL team that has Shedeur Sanders as their quarterback, I think he'd take it. The problem, though, is that Dallas ain't doing what Stephen A. talking about. Dallas just gave Dak Prescott like 2 months ago in September, 4 years, $240 million, $60 million a year. He ain't going nowhere. And so the fact that they paid Dak $240 million, $60 million a year, making him the highest paid player in the history of the NFL, lets me know he's not going anywhere. Because here's the thing. If you do, because Dallas is probably going to have Dak looks like he's going to have surgery, miss the rest of the season. So they're going to have they were bad before Dak got hurt. They're going to finish bad. They're probably not going to be bad enough to get the number 1 overall pick, but they'll get up there more than likely. The problem is, though, is that contract that Dak signed in September, it's not tradable. I don't know if he has a no trade clause. I'm sure I could just look that up, and he probably does have a no trade clause. But what I mean by it's not tradable is that nobody is going to want Dak Prescott for the highest paid salary in the history of the NFL. So you can't get rid of it. And so therefore, it would behoove you to not tank the rest of the season hoping to get Shedeur, knowing that you're going to have potentially, which is not true, but potentially have a $60 million a year backup. It's not how the NFL works. You pay your guys, you play your guys. The guys that get paid end up playing, whether they should or not shouldn't. And to add to that point, I don't think Prime wants to coach in the NFL. I do think he eventually leaves Boulder for a better college job, but Florida's already come out and said they're not firing their coach. Florida State, he doesn't want to go back there. He's bitter towards them. He don't like them anymore. And then all these other jobs are kind of equivalent to Colorado for what he's already done, what he's already built. They're kind of equivalent that could pop open. So I don't think he leaves anywhere this year. But if Billy Napier's trash again next year, or if Lincoln Riley's trash again next year, or if one of these major SEC or Big Ten jobs open up, that is like in USC in Southern California or in the state of Florida, like Florida, Miami's kind of, Cristobal's played his way off the hot seat. I do think he eventually leaves for a better opportunity, a better job where it's easier to recruit. I talk about the recruits that are coming through Boulder and the guys that are end up flipping. How much easier and how much more dangerous and scary is Coach Prime on the recruiting trail if he's at somewhere like the University of Florida, Southern California, et cetera, than he is at Colorado. That's not to say he's scaring people already. And in the years at Colorado, he's flipped, a kid from Florida State. He flipped Cormani McClain from Miami. He flipped Jordan Seaton from, I don't know where he was going, but he ended up going to Colorado, and now he's probably going to get Juju Lewis, who was headed to USC. I say all of that to say he's not going to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cowboys aren't going to have Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is going to be a Las Vegas Raider. I'm going to put out a video on why that's happening later, but he's going to go to the Raiders. Prime's going to be in Boulder with Juju Lewis and those guys for next season. And that's how it's going to play out. But this was interesting that they continue to push this. This is a topic I've talked about before in the past. And now I'm even more convinced that he won't leave to go to the Cowboys to be their next head coach. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As Stephen A says, the Cowboys should tank their season for both Coach Prime and Shedeur Sanders. That's a hell of a thing to do, especially when you just paid a guy $240 million like they paid Dak Prescott. Now, Mike McCarthy, on the other hand, he's out of there. They just won't be hiring Deion Sanders. What could be interesting, though, is who they could potentially hire, and that could be Lincoln Riley. He doesn't seem to be having too much fun at USC in this Big Ten, and if that job opens up, the USC job that is, now we could be circling back talking about Coach Prime. But that's another story for another day, for hypotheticals that could or could not end up happening. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Stephen A says the Cowboys should tank for Coach Prime and Shedeur. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYJr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Thank you. It helps a lot. It helps with the algorithm. Helps with our YouTube channel here as we continue to grow. Shout out to all the new subscribers. You guys are coming in droves. So hit that thumbs up button. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, also you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. That is on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. And I will see you next time. Peace.